Hello, this is Jerry Zremski from the Buffalo News Washington Bureau. It's Monday, and that means it's once again time for me to talk to you a little bit about the news ahead this week in Washington, D.C. And this week, frankly, it's starting to look a little bit slow, but I've got a couple things going on that should be of some interest. I do still have a couple of stories to do in the congressional race in the 27th District in New York. I'm going to be finishing them up in the next day or so. And beyond that, I'll be doing a story about Congresswoman Kathy Hochul, the congresswoman who currently represents that district. She's been in Congress for a year now, and I think that means it's time to look back. It's time to reflect on how she's voting and what she's doing. I did a big profile of her about 6 months ago, so I'm not going to repeat myself at all, but what I am going to deal with are some issues that I haven't written about in any great depth, and that is her voting record. We've covered this kind of piecemeal as different votes have come up, but I think it's a good time to take a look at what she's doing writ large and what it means for the district and what it means for her re-election chances. So that's going to be the top priority that I have here this week. There are a couple of other possibilities going on, though, too. I'm also interested in possibly doing a story this week or sometime soon about Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and her involvement in women's issues. She has kind of made this a central focus of her time in the Senate, and I don't think to date I've written about it in as comprehensive a way as I can, and I'm hoping to do that perhaps this week, perhaps sometime a little bit later on. So those are the main things that are going on right now. I'm sure other bits of news will come up here and there, but as you can tell, it's shaping up as a somewhat slow week, and I'm kind of expecting that to be the case here for the next several weeks as we lead up to the election. Plainly, already a lot of lawmakers are already moving into congressional mode, and I think a lot of the votes in Congress are going to be kind of attuned to that and not really attuned to legislation that's likely to become law. I think more so you'll see bills being put forward where one party or the other is just really trying to make a point, and you're seeing more and more of that. So I'll be covering some of that as it occurs, as it's important, but I think it's also important not to overplay bills like that and not make them sound like they're going to become law when they're not. So I will be sure to try to keep all of that into perspective. So that's the way things are looking here this week in early June, and I'm hoping you'll be reading my stories. I hope you keep reading the Buffalo News, and I hope you'll join me for next week's update a week from today, next Monday. Thank you.